And so, am I stepping away from Feng Shui? Hardly. I am just expanding my own knowledge and my own, truthfully, my own fascination with how the spiritual world really works. And I feel like we're just scratching the surface here. And I am still on my like baby level, my toddler level in terms of delving into the more mystic, the more mysterious side of energy and healing and the universe. I am now here being very transparent here. For the past 3-4 years, I've been asked by Mother God, Father God, universe, my soul blueprint. I've been asked to step onto another mission in this lifetime. And being very honest, this is a mission that scared the heck out of me. It still does, because it's a big one. It is a mission for me to help women over 40 struggling to get pregnant when science and medicine and their doctors have kind of let them down. My mission is to step in, if they choose to allow me to step in, and help them with vibrational medicine, energy healing. And part of that path means me taking them through healing and clearing their higher dimensional chakras. In the past few years, in fact, I have been training, getting myself trained, getting myself certified in energy healing modalities. We're talking about Akashic records, Akashic healing, past life regression. I'm trained in that. Hypnotherapy. Getting myself a little bit more trained in the realm of trauma, and also the more recent trainings that I've gotten is to really step in. I've been doing it kind of informally for the past few years, but really hone in on my skills of being a spirit baby medium, meaning I can communicate with the spirits of babies that are either yet to be born, they're just waiting to be born, or they have passed on. And also I'm delving more and more into the realms of soul purpose, soul mission, and not just the mission in this lifetime, but for those of you who are open to the idea of reincarnation, it doesn't matter what religious background you're from, excuse me, but for many of us, in many of our reincarnations, our re-embodiment on Earth, most of it revolve around one soul mission. And so, am I stepping away from Feng Shui? Hardly. I am just expanding my own knowledge and my own, truthfully, my own fascination with how the spiritual world really works. And I feel like we're just scratching the surface here. And I am still on my like baby level, my toddler level in terms of delving into the more mystic, the more mysterious side of energy and healing and the universe. I'm so sorry if I'm coughing in your ear. I thought my cough would be gone by now, but it's allergy season, so I'm just going to work with it. And so Feng Shui will always be one of my first loves. It's not my first, because prior to me being a Feng Shui practitioner, actually, I was an energy healing practitioner. And I worked specifically with clients who struggled with post-traumatic stress disorder. And I used energy healing methods to help them get over their past trauma when talk therapy has not worked. So I've kind of gone back to that model of supporting my clients, and whether or not they're here as my fertility clients or, you know, as members in my Manifesting Code group, which I'm closing, by the way. I'm not taking any new members right now. It has been such a fascinating journey for me to really see the difference it can make in one's life, not just in terms of like health, relationship, and finances, but also in terms of clarity of your purpose. How many of you guys here are like, I feel like I'm here for a reason? There is a reason why I am here now. I just can't figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with this life. How many of you guys kind of understand that? Put it in the comment if that kind of resonates. It might, because I know I have clients who come to me and they're like, specifically, they wanted to get their astrological charts read to kind of figure out what their higher purpose is. But in all honesty, the astrological chart is just one piece of our soul mission, our soul blueprint. There's so much more that goes into that. And hopefully I might be going all over the place because this is a huge topic, right? But just bear with me, and I'd love to welcome your questions. Again, I'm still a student. I don't pretend to know everything about the universe, about the galaxy. Obviously, I don't, and no, I don't think anyone can claim to. But whatever that in my studies and in my exploration and my research, if it's a question that I can offer a perspective on, I'm happy to do so. Okay. Hi, Rosa. Hi, Hedy, Maria, Vishnu, you're here. 644, kind of true. I do wonder also. Yeah, for most of us, we have this question of, what is my life purpose? And I've actually gone another level up, is what is my soul purpose? Meaning it's the same purpose that I will have in many different lifetimes. And so this new, I'll still be talking about Feng Shui, but in my content from now on, you guys will start to see even more of the other parts of spirituality, other parts of energy, and everything that relates to energy. Okay. Plus, obviously, still talking about Feng Shui. But for today, my focus will be on higher dimensional chakras. And so, how many of you guys, again, put it in the comment if you have heard of chakras. And if you have heard of chakras, like, if you do yoga, if you're doing Ayurvedic medicine or anything like that, you work with crystals, you've probably heard of chakras. Put it in the comment. You've probably heard of the 7 chakras, right? The 7 main chakras, which is, and I actually have an image. I'll share it with you guys in a minute. Okay. There are actually so many more chakras. One of the Hindu gurus that I loosely follow, Sadhguru, he says, I think it's about 104 or 106 major and minor chakras, right? There are actually 2 chakras on each side of our ear, chakras by our shoulders, chakras on both sides of our pelvis, and chakras on our knees, chakras on our feet. All that adds up, right? 104 or 106. I forgot what the actual number that he uses. Okay. But the chakras that I want to talk about today are the chakras that I've been using to do energy healing for my clients and for myself and for my family. Yeah, way more than 7. That's for sure. And you know what brought me to that rabbit hole of trying to figure out what I knew there was more than 7. I just intuitively knew that there must be more than 7. I just didn't get a lot of answers as to what are the rest. And in fact, there are some mainstream teachers who they know about the chakras, they just number it differently from what I'm being taught. I'm not saying that their school is wrong or my school is right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that just like Feng Shui, there are different schools of thought, right? And just like how many of you guys have heard me talk about fast food feng shui, right? There's also fast food other stuff, fast food crystal information, fast food meditation information, fast food yoga information, fast food chakra information. So all that all that's to say that it's good to start with the 7 chakras, but for us who are on the spiritual path, who are wanting to work on more than just this 3-dimensional plane, we must and should work on the higher dimensional chakras. So, what do I mean by that? All right, so here is a chart that I had my assistant made for me. Okay, what we are familiar of are the 7 primary chakras here, right? So we have the first chakra, which is the root, second chakra here, which is also called sacral, okay? Third chakra, which is the solar plexus. This is a bit big. Okay, solar plexus. The fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. We have the throat here. The third eye. Okay, actually, yeah. Okay. And then the crown, right? So these are the 7 chakras that we are more. Oh yeah, there's so many different, exactly, like Maria said, 114 chakras according to Sri Amit Ray. There's so many other different schools of thought on that. So I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong, but just like Feng Shui, I follow what gives me results. I'm just focusing on 15 right now, okay? All right. So with that said, so we have the 7 primary chakras, but what I have been trained since a couple of years ago is the 8 morphogenetic chakras. So we have the 8th chakra, which is on the thymus. And actually the 8th chakra, I think we kind of did this wrong. The 8th chakra actually goes all the way here. It's a cone. It kind of, so it's right here. It's another name is called the higher heart chakra. So the regular 4th chakra is right here. The 8th chakra is around the thymus area, and the cone actually kind of sticks out. Okay. And then the 9th chakra is here. Okay. The 9th chakra is kind of at the base of our skull. So if you turn around the base of our skull, right? That's the 9th chakra. And that cone also kind of comes down a little bit like that. So the 8th and the 9th, technically they're on the body, but they're not considered embodied chakras. Okay. And then we have the 10th chakra here, which is about, this is plus or minus, okay, 6 inches above the head. And then from the 10th chakra, we have the 11th chakra, which is 18 inches above the head. Sorry, going back to the 10th chakra, there are other schools of thought that call this the 8th chakra. Okay? But does the name really matter though? Whether it's the 8th chakra or the 10th chakra, as long as the location is kind of the same and the usage and like the information that we know about the chakras is pretty much aligned, I think that's really all we need to know, right? But I know there are trainings out there that call the chakra above our head as the 8th chakra. In my lineage, the 8th chakra is down here. Okay, so we have the 10th, we have the 11th, and then from there we go down to the 12th. Sorry, this is wrong. This is 6 inches below the feet. Okay, so that's the 8th chakra. Sorry, the 12th chakra. And then the 13th chakra is all the way to the center of the earth. So all of us have our 13th chakra rooted in the core of the earth. And it's usually people who have their 13th chakra very strongly activated are usually very environmentally friendly. Like they want to take care of the earth. They want to heal Mother Earth. Eco warriors. Usually they're the 13th. Or even people who are maybe a little bit more empathetic to others. Usually, sometimes it's the heart chakra, but it's also because the 13th chakra connects us with everyone, really, because we are all connected to this center of the earth here. Okay? And then from the 13th, we have the 14th, which is, so 14 and 15, okay? 14 is really like this, and then 15 is another one here, okay? So it's up and down, above us and below us, okay? The 14th chakra, okay, is about 3 feet above the head, okay? And that's considered the universal chakra. And then the 15th chakra is actually all the way out into the universe, okay? Universal 2 chakra. And so there is many reasons why this is an important system to at least explore. Again, just like research, right? There will be scientific research that says, oh, this is the right information. And then years later, they might do another scientific experiment and say, hey, actually, we weren't quite right when we were explaining this. So I am keeping myself open to how all of this works. Okay. Edwina's got a really good question. I'll touch on that in a moment. Okay. And so I'm not going to go through the first and second chakra very much. For that one, I do have a resource that I've loved, which is Carolyn Mace's Anatomy of the Spirit. That is an amazing book. Those of you either in YouTube or Facebook, if you know which one I'm talking about, please put it in the comment. Okay, Carolyn Mace, Anatomy of the Spirit. And hold on, sorry, bear with me. I'm just dealing with a few different screens here. Yeah, so so going back from what I have learned about these additional chakras is that our, like I mentioned about life purpose and soul purpose, actually soul purpose is more in the higher dimensional realm. And in fact, actually, let me just share that screen again. So what happens is all these chakras, each of them correlate to a certain dimension. Okay, so chakra 1 is, first dimension, which really is like a dot. But everything starts from a dot, right? Everything starts from a little dot. Chakra 2 correlates to the second dimension. Chakra 3 is the third dimension. Okay, which is where our physicalness is right now, right? We're walking on earth, the things that we see and touch and sense. Well, sense maybe not so much, but see and touch, the solidness of it is all from the density of the first 3 dimensions. And as we go higher up into the higher dimensions, the solid state becomes less and less solid. So once we get to the fourth chakra, for instance, and up, is when things get less. If you can only believe in something, if you can see and touch it, this dimension and up is where you're gonna have to believe it on faith, unfortunately, because things get less and less solid. From here, it goes into like liquid light, pretty much, or some other schools would call it pre-matter. So from chakras or dimensions 15, it's all just like chi, ki, prana, mana. There's no form. Okay. And as it goes down to the 14th dimension, 14th chakra, 13th dimensional chakra, 12th dimensional chakras, and 11th dimension, and so on and so forth, as it goes down the dimension, it starts gaining a state of having solidity to it. Okay, I know I'm not explaining it really well. I kind of understand it intellectually, but just putting in words is not something that I'm used to doing. Right? But how this absolutely fascinated me is that means everything that we're seeing in the third dimension, right? Our home, our friends, the relationship that we have, the health that we have, the financial picture that we have, all that started from the higher dimensions, the pre-matter state, before it became solid, before it became manifested in a 3D physical plane. Does that make sense to you guys? Am I making sense? Am I putting my words across? So all that is to say, everything, and for those of us who are in like the law of attraction path or the manifesting path, for instance, if we want to manifest, just visualizing actually is not enough. Because most of us, we're still visualizing in the third dimensional realm. If anything, you need to work from the fifth dimension and up. Yeah, thoughts become things, exactly. And when they are thoughts, they are in that pre-matter realm, right? So only then, when they gain strength, i.e. the thoughts that we feed them, then they gain the ability to manifest in the 3D, whether it is actually something that we want in our lives or something that we don't want. We are all power manifestors. But the question is, are you consciously manifesting what you want? Most of us, we are subconsciously manifesting the things that we don't want, because we keep putting our energy, our chi, ki, prana, via our thoughts, via our emotions, feeding into fear and worry and not enoughness, lack of self-love. And all that is percolating in dimensions 5 and up. And if we don't nip it in the bud, it will come down and manifest in the 3D dimensions, appearing in our lives. Even though we don't want it, we manifested it. Once you understand, once all of us understand what our purpose here is, a lot of our fears and worries, not that you don't fear and worry, like, okay, you still have a bill to pay, sure, but the intensity of that fear is so much lower. When you work with divine and realize that you are divine, I mean, come on, we have 15 dimensions and more. We were just taught to forget about our power. And once you reconnect with that power, that is when you realize a lot of your fears and worries are unfounded. If I am new to you and you love classical feng shui, meaning real feng shui that gives you real results, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because I will be giving new videos every Thursday, and make sure you don't miss out on that.